Hey everybody, it's Micah. I'd like to talk today a little bit about the topic of neoteny. And neoteny is a word which refers to the holding onto of adolescent traits into adulthood. And it's a word that I use when I talk about rewilding, human rewilding. Recently, there was a very tragic example of a fire in a club in Switzerland, where I believe 40 people perished in a fire. And some video circulated and went viral of some of these young people in this club while the fire was spreading on the ceiling, and they were dancing and taking video of the fire while they were in the burning building with an apparent lack of awareness of the life threatening situation that they were in. And this is a very unfortunate and tragic example of neoteny. And it may have something to do with a lack of exposure to real world situations, and to a lack of opportunity to explore risk taking in childhood. When children are allowed to roam in forests or to work with tools or to climb trees or to just explore their environment without helicopter parenting, sometimes there's a broken arm, but what ends up happening overall, long term, is that kids learn what they are capable of, how high they can climb, how far they can walk out on the ice before it breaks. They learn that there are certainly some dangers out there, and they learn how to live with them and how to explore their edge between safety and risk. And that's a very important skill for a human being living in a real world. And this example of this fire in Switzerland um, just goes to show that something's off here when we have folks who are in a situation like that and don't realize at that moment that they need to get out. That fire spread fast, and smoke inhalation is real, and it's just a very sobering example of what can happen if we don't create opportunities, not only for kids, but for young adults and adults as well, to get outdoors and to explore and to work with the elements, you know, um, swimming in rivers, feeling undertow, feeling currents, having some guidance around what's safe, climbing trees, making fire, learning how to make fire safely, working with fire, noticing how fire spreads, right? Working with tools, working with knives, working with things that certainly, if you're not trained, can cause harm, but if you are trained and you know the rules, are relatively safe and important to know how to do. When I teach people how to work with knives, I teach them, all of the safety rules. Stay out of this triangle of danger, right? Don't have your knife between your legs. Be aware of your blood bubble. Make sure that nobody is within arm's reach of your blade when you're carving, right? Sheathe your knife when you're done. Always carve away from your own flesh. Um, these are important rules. If you know the rules and you respect the rules, then you can use a knife and you can carve safely, and you can have a lot of fun doing it, and you can grow in confidence and skill, right? Same thing with climbing trees. I always tell my kids, keep 3 points of contact, right? If you keep 3 points of contact on the tree, pretty safe, right? If you keep your feet and your hands on the branches that are close to the trunk as you're climbing, as opposed to really far out, they're going to be much stronger there, right? Don't climb trees that have mushrooms or fungus growing on them because they're rotten. So there's lots of knowledge that we once had that we could have again to allow us to spread our wings and explore this world and come more fully alive to this world and to our capabilities of engaging with this world um, in a much safer way. So, by withdrawing from nature, by trying to eliminate all risk, what we've done is we've actually um, set the conditions where a generation of young people are now entering into the world, and they're less safe than if we had allowed them to take risks. because they don't know what is a threat and what isn't, because most of their experiences have been had through a screen where can't really hurt you through here. Certainly there's bullying and things that can happen, but physically, everything's on the screen and I'm here, right? So there's certainly psychological harm and bullying and all that. But when it comes to physical engagement, we can watch stuff on here and we're safe in our house. And so we don't learn how to engage with skill. Okay. So that's neoteny, the holding on to of adolescent traits into adulthood. And there's a lot of other examples of it, but I just thought this was a pertinent one. So, what are some things that we can do to counteract and make sure that we don't have to go off into the world and have a lack of awareness of what threats are and whatnot? So, um, lots of things that we can do. Walking in the woods, camping, hiking, climbing trees, right? Learning how to carve, learning how to do bushcraft, um, practicing archery, throwing skills, um, martial arts. There's so many things that we can do to help us develop an awareness of our surroundings, right? Dance. Um, Dance is a great way, like just moving through space with other people, right? Athletics, sports are great for this. Okay. So there's lots of things. Basically, it's just getting off the screen and getting outside, going fishing, doing anything really outdoors with other people that's physical in the environment is going to help. Learning how to make a fire safely, right? There's just so many things. So it really just boils down to getting outside, getting off the screens, getting active, and connecting with the natural world around you. So that's my spiel today. Thanks for watching. Get outside, connect with the land that you live on, keep rewilding, and I'll see you soon.